Hello and welcome to this Fantasy Premier League Game Week 34 preview. Now, if you are new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's not hard and it really does help me out. So let's get straight into the video. It is looking like a saucy game week this week. Plenty of good fixtures. We see Manchester United take on Aston Villa. Can we see them continue their battering ram kind of form and absolutely plough through Villa? We saw Manchester City get beaten 1-0 by Southampton, which will probably mean we'll see some of that classic bit of Pep roulette. The first fixture we see this game week, as you can see, all the fixtures to my side here. Wonderful. As we see, Chelsea take on Crystal Palace in the very first fixture. Chelsea, after facing a battle-hardened West Ham previously in game week 32, rejuvenated their form and beat Watford 3-0 at the weekend. Crystal Palace have had a very slow restart. They managed to beat Bournemouth 2-0 in the first game, but since then, loss after loss after loss. Looking like Chelsea are more likely to win this one. We have a Watford versus Norwich game. I'm sure plenty of you with the likes of Sarr or Deeney will be hoping for big scores in this one. Norwich have pretty much already given up on the relegation battle. They tried hard for the FA Cup, but just couldn't quite make it. Liverpool are looking reasonably solid at the minute, and they're playing a relegation scared Brighton. Although Brighton are reasonably safe, they're not completely out of it. But with the likes of Bournemouth and Aston Villa behind, who are just not picking up any kind of points at the minute, it's hard to see them really going down. So without further ado, let's take a look at the fantasy team and see what these fixtures mean for the selection of my squad. So you can see my team here. The transfers that I've made this week have been Fabianski coming in for Dubravka. Dubravka had Manchester City away. Now I know we saw Alex McCarthy pick up an astonishing 11 points against Manchester City. I actually benched him for that game, but I was never going to play him because it's against Man City and we've seen them put 5-6 goals past teams at times, and I'm expecting after that defeat they're going to want to go and absolutely batter Newcastle, so I'm not expecting anything too big there. West Ham on the best for clean sheets, although they do have some very good fixtures coming up. And Fabianski likes his save point, so even if he doesn't get a clean sheet, he'll at least hopefully pop up with at least 3 points per game. Maybe a little bonus point in there just to tip it off. So if we look at the defence now, we're going to be starting the likes of Doherty, Trent, Van Dijk and Wan-Bissaka. The Liverpool clean sheet the other day was very nice, and I expect that to continue against Brighton. Liverpool aren't looking too great going forward, but they're looking reasonably solid at the back. They did have a few scares against Aston Villa, but they held on, and Van Dijk managed to pick up a bonus point as well. Manchester United have been reasonably solid throughout the season. It kind of showed against Bournemouth that they weren't completely solid at the back, although it also shows the type of team Bournemouth have been all season. They can score, but they really just can't defend. We look at the midfield now. We're going for a midfield 5, playing a 4-5-1 formation this week. And we're looking at the likes of De Bruyne playing, potentially captaining him against Newcastle, because he's likely to start after they lost against Southampton. It just shows again, when Manchester City don't start De Bruyne, they always get punished. Pep must be thinking this over and over again, which is one of the reasons why they haven't been title contenders this year. It's just because De Bruyne has not been starting every single match, and when he does start, they're much more likely to win. So I'm very much considering a captaincy on De Bruyne. At the minute though, it's on Martial. They play Aston Villa along with Bruno Fernandes, two players who've been in incredible form. I managed to pick up the captain on Martial when he got that 14 points. So that was very nice to see. We brought in Sarr a few weeks back, mainly for this selection of fixtures. They play Norwich, who have basically given up, which, you know, tends to be good for teams when that happens. When we see teams who mathematically cannot stay up, all of a sudden they start playing better because they have the freedom. So I don't know whether we'll see that from Norwich yet, because they still are mathematically able to stay up. However, they pretty much have given up. So hopefully Watford here can do something good for themselves in terms of their relegation battle, and Sarr can go and bang in a few goals. Topping us off in the midfield is Son. He's been Mr. Consistent so far since the restart of the break, picking up a nice few goal contributions, and I'm expecting that to continue. Finally, up front, we've got the likes of Jimenez. Jimenez is just a player you kind of really have to have at the minute. He has blanked in the last 2 game weeks. However, just with the goal threat that Wolves have and their main scorer being Jimenez, you have to keep him in. On the bench, we're looking at Jordan Ayew, Calvert-Lewin and Saiss. It was very hard to bench Calvert-Lewin and Saiss for this game week because both of them have great fixtures, and I'm kind of almost now regretting using my bench boost when I did, although I did get plenty of points from it, so I'm not too upset about that. But I would like to be able to play Calvert-Lewin against Southampton and Saiss against Sheffield, although Calvert-Lewin hasn't been doing that much since the restart, although I could bite my tongue because I am making this before Everton play Spurs. And what do we know? Calvert-Lewin could easily go and bang in a hat-trick in that game. But yeah, this has been my team. Let us know what your teams are or the main players who you're thinking of bringing in for this week. Hope you have enjoyed the video. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you soon.